we go. It's just going on my, for some reason, I won't go live in the group. So I'm just sharing to my personal profile for the moment, and we'll share it from there onto the other ones. Apologies, team.
Just give me a second.
I've been fighting since I was a child. I've been fighting through my whole life. I choose to live, I choose to drive. I will never settle and just survive. I know I have to fight for what is mine. So I fight to keep my dreams alive. I live my life on the front line. If I slip or fall, I won't stop climbing. I was raised by adversity, I was trained by pain. I was built from the struggle, went against the grain. I embraced all the challenges, never complain. I stand out from the crowd, I am not the same. They say I'm insane, I say nah, I'm just brave. I'm not afraid, I've got the heart of a lion. Nothing can stop me, I won't stop trying. I won't stop fighting, I will stand strong until the day I'm gone. I'll never back down from a fight, never. You can see the hunger in my eyes. I'm a warrior, I'm a warrior, I'm a warrior, I'm a warrior. The devil said I can't withstand the storm. I replied, I am the storm. I am, I'm a warrior, I'm a warrior, I'm a warrior, I'm a warrior. Every day I wake up, it's just another day. I'm ready for whatever may come my way. If I'm confronted with another storm, I've got the strength to carry on. This is nothing I ain't dealt with before. I'm a warrior that's ready for war. If I'm alone with a part of a team, I'm ready for it all. I'm used to having my back against the wall. I'm used to handling the pressure of it all. I'm used to it. My mind is my strongest weapon. Strong mind, strong life, yeah, I live that message. I made it through the negativity, the stress and depression. See, they were blessings that gave me crucial life lessons. You learn. Now I don't live by life's challenges, but I don't back down neither, so whatever comes, I'll handle it. Just know I'm harder than the hard times. I'm tougher than the tough times. I'm a warrior in my prime. I'll never back down from a fight. You can see the hunger in my eyes. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. I'm a warrior. The devil said I can't withstand the storm. I replied.
Alrighty, hey guys, welcome to How to Forge an Iron Mind as an Entrepreneur. Guys, Jason Grossman here. We have myself and international trainer of neurolinguistic programming, Julie Thompson, joining us momentarily to share with you how to forge an iron mind as an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, it can feel lonely, it can be stressful, it can feel overwhelming, there can be lots of stuff happening. How do we mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically deal with that better? By forging an iron mind. So as we get started, I just want to make sure you guys can hear me. So for those on the Zoom, those who are taking time to join on the Zoom, thank you for joining us. We had some tech issues. We're starting a couple minutes late, but we're fashionably late, so it's all good. For those in the Zoom, just say hi, introduce yourself, where in the world you are, and what kind of business you have. That'd be awesome. And also, would love to hear if we are going to talk a little bit about NLP, neuro-linguistic programming today, but it's not purely just NLP today. It'll be more than that. And so would like to hear a bit more on how much you guys know about NLP as well. So in the Zoom chat, just say, hi, I'm Jason. I'm a business coach on the Gold Coast, and I'm an international trainer of NLP. Maybe I have a background in something else. You know, I have 21 certifications in different psychological modalities. You know, feel free to share that as well. If you're watching on the Facebook Live, welcome on the Facebook Live. Feel free to comment there. If you're watching live, comment live. If you're watching replay, comment replay. Just say hi in there as well. I can see Salil. Hey, how you going? In Sacramento, welcome. And if you are watching this on YouTube, feel free to interact and say hi in there. We'll get back to you and pay attention to that as well. We've got Aldrin on the Gold Coast. Welcome, Craig, social media and transition coach. Samantha Rollinson, me. Oh, yep, Julie. Roz, welcome, Roz. Barbara, welcome, Barbara. Good to see you here again. It was good to meet a couple of weeks ago in the limo. Great discipline on your behalf, not drinking any champagne. We drank 7 bottles of champagne, the rest of us. Stacy from Florida. Awesome. Welcome. Lisa Maganti, welcome. Brisbane, NLP, TLT. Practitioner, Wayne Donnelly, good to see you here. Sunshine Coast. John Rainbird, welcome, brother. Cairns, relationship mindset coach. Anastasia, South Africa, relationship coach. Samantha, Austin, Texas, health and wellness coach. And awesome, welcome. So we're going to dive straight in. This is going to be a short, sweet training. This is our second day in a row of trainings. We've got 3 events this week. So we are here to serve you. We want to keep empowering you mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, to be the best version of yourself possible. So we're just going to dive straight in. So we're going to go for about 45 to 50 minutes from now, maybe just over. I'm going to take the next 20 minutes and I'm going to pass it over to Julie Thompson, and who's going to finish up. So rather than me talking for the whole session today, will just be me for the next about 20 or so minutes. I'm going to share with you what I believe to be has allowed me to form and forge an iron mind as an entrepreneur. And then I'll pass it over to Julie, who's going to share some powerful, simple, easy to follow NLP strategies that you can apply in your daily life right now to forge an iron mind. I have one slide. I'm sure Julie's probably got some slides as well. We both like slides as highly visual people. And so before I share my slide, because I have one slide, quick question. When I say to you, forge an iron mind as an entrepreneur, what does that mean to you? Anastasia, Aldwin, Craig, Wayne, what is an iron mind to you? What is the definition? Because if I say the word success is not a tangible thing. In NLP, it's called a normalization. You cannot put it into a wheelbarrow. It's intangible. So that's the challenge. It's like communication. Everybody gives communication a different definition or a different meaning. So how are we meant to communicate? Julie has one definition of communication. I have a different definition. We don't clarify our own definitions. How can we ever effectively communicate? So let's get on the same page. What is an iron mind to you? Lisa, Jowett, strong and resilient. Aldwin, unbreakable mind. Stacy, yeah, magnetic mind coach. Yeah, awesome. I love the magnetic mind. You guys are rocking it. Ray, my ray of sunshine. Resilience. Lisa Maganti, staying laser focused on your intents. You guys have all heard the saying, energy flows where attention goes, as determined by intention, which a lot of people miss that off. Craig, unbreakable and strong. Stacy, a mind that's not wavering. I love that. A mind that is not wavering. That's actually really good. I like that. From one aspect to another. Being able to cope with anything. Sonia, determined, resilient, strong, and unbreakable. Barbara, iron mind, to never lose focus. Wayne, focus, persistent. High self-belief, unwavering. Rose, strong mind. Samantha, strong. John, able to adapt and keep going regardless of the challenges. Dionsha, good to see you, brother. Persist, resilient, optimistic. There's a difference between being positive and optimistic. Huge difference. Barbara, unwavering self-belief. Anastasia, unwavering, and yeah, here comes all the unwavering. Radical self-responsibility, RSR. Put that on the Facebook. Become unfuckable with. Hell yeah, baby. I love that. We can say that on this training because I'm just reading back what one of you guys said, right? Become unfuckable with. Any angels in the Philippines? I apologize for trying not to throw in front of our Filipino angels. So, Aldrin, Iron Mind is full of mental strength and confidence. Here is what I believe to be an iron mind. Now, here's the thing. Are any of those right or wrong? No, that's just what you believe to be true. That is the thing about beliefs. They're not right or wrong. They serve us or not. I don't think I read a single definition there, Julie, or meeting that would not be resourceful, that would not empower someone. And that is why we're doing this training, and we've called it what we're calling it because it's an incredibly powerful and empowering paradigm, right? I believe an iron mind for an entrepreneur is about creating what I call entrepreneurial stoicism. Now, I've just taken two popular words and put them together in a format I don't think anyone else in the world ever has. It just kind of sounds cool, and I'm taking ownership over that term. Entrepreneurial stoicism. What is stoicism? Does anyone know what stoicism means? Stoicism. Anyone know what stoicism? Well, who knows what stoicism means? What is stoicism? What is stoicism? Who knows? As a leader, especially in our masculine, especially the divine masculine, stoicism is important as a man. But there is a time and a place for a woman as well. Stoicism ethics. It's about persistence, pushing through. It's about persistence, pushing through the pain. Okay, yeah. Plods on. Okay, so basically, in a nutshell, stoicism is no matter what's happening in our environment, and no matter how we feel, we act based on our sense of duty. So anybody can go to the gym when you feel like it, right? It's like kids. It's like who has children? You know, if you're tired, but you've got to take your kids to school, you have the duty of getting to school. You take them to school. That's an example of stoicism, right? So that is what stoicism is. The ultimate form of stoicism is like you've probably heard some of these famous guys talk about when the Titanic sunk, all of the men let the women and children go because that's their duty, and they were happy to see their women and children go free, even though that they were going to sink with the Titanic. That's the ultimate radical example of stoicism. So entrepreneurial stoicism is basically no matter what happens in our business, we do not emotionally react. Another perfect example, you guys hear me talk about all the time, gets a little bit frustrated when you book in an appointment and they don't show up, be honest. Who gets a little annoyed when somebody cancels last minute? Or who gets disappointed when you spend an hour on a sales call and they say no? Or what about this? Have you ever signed up a client and they sign the paperwork and then the next day they change their mind? Entrepreneurial stoicism is emotionally dissociating from what other people say and do. It doesn't matter who shows up or not, doesn't matter who signs up or not, doesn't matter who quits or not, because we cannot control those factors. We focus on what we can control, which is our BEST, to be the best version of ourselves. B is for behavior, E is for emotions, S is for speech, T is for thoughts. We focus on consciously directing our behavior, emotion, speech, and thoughts. That's what entrepreneurial stoicism is. Now, it takes time, it takes practice, and it takes conscious effort, okay? So that's what my slide and my segment for today is about, is how do we create this paradigm and live and breathe this entrepreneurial stoicism? Yeah, and so has there ever been a time, you know, when sometimes when you hear a baby cry and you just kind of want to, no, an example, you're thinking it, you kind of want to throw the baby out the window, right? And then there's other times you hear a baby cry, it doesn't bother you at all. Or has there ever been a time, you know, when people tap their pen over and over and over and it doesn't faze you? And then other times you just want to punch the person in the face. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about here, right? Because that's what entrepreneurial stoicism is. So I want to instill in you a strong sense of entrepreneurial stoicism so you stop reacting to your environment and you become the captain of your own ship and direct that. Okay. Staying power, bro, proud. I have four. You have four? Awesome. So it's similar to emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence comes from increasing our emotional IQ by becoming entrepreneurially stoic over a period of time. So my emotional intelligence in the context of entrepreneurship is greater than all of yours, which is why I make more money than you. Does it make sense? Yeah. Just like Elon Musk's is far greater than mine, as an example, which is why he makes a lot more money than me. So, and again, it's not just about the money, but business is about making money. Who wants to make a shitload of money? Say I. To be honest, we all do, right? We want to help a lot of people, but we don't chase the money, we chase the freedom and impact. So you've got to stop reacting to what you can't control. You can't control what you get. Can't control somebody showing up or not, saying yes or not, signing up or not, or not. You can all quit today. I'm good. We'll go sign up another 15 clients next week. Now, I'd rather have you in our circle, community, and serve you and help you. But I can't change that. So why should I get frustrated and upset? Or if I'm driving down the street and someone cuts me off, why would I get pissed off and upset and give that person 60 seconds of my power? Why would I empower them and give them my happiness? I don't want to do that. So that's the thing. That's a part of it as well. And it's different for men and women, because women want to be happy and they want to have fun and want to be free. Us men, we have a different sense of a duty, right? However, in the entrepreneurial space, there is entrepreneurship, you know, women as well. There is a huge element of leadership and a masculine component. So there is a time for stoicism for you as well. So how do we form this entrepreneurial stoicism? Who would like to have greater emotional intelligence around entrepreneurial stoicism? Who would like that? Yeah, okay. So how do we do that? So first of all, it's understanding your beliefs around it and your own mind around it. Okay, so you guys know you have around 70,000 thoughts a day, give or take. Okay, now as you think about your thoughts, you think about those thoughts, and then you think about those thoughts, and you begin to feel about those feelings and those thoughts, and you do these recursive loops. So as somebody mentioned before, they said the word unwavering. I think a few of you did. And a lot of you have heard me. Some of this stuff is revision for you. I'll get to the new stuff shortly, I promise. But some of you mentioned the word unwavering before. The key to entrepreneurial stoicism is this metaphor. It's beginning to direct your unconscious mind. And I'm going to give you some strategies to begin to do that, because you can't just say, I know I need to direct my unconscious mind. How do I do that? So I'll give you the how to in a moment. The metaphor is, imagine you walk into a dark room. and you have a torch. Wherever you shine, the torch is what you focus on. Your mind is like a dark room, right? We have a conscious, subconscious, and an unconscious, not just subconscious. Your conscious is what you're focused on, where the light is shining. The subconscious is the underlying chitter chatter. The unconscious is like the storage, right? But you walk into a dark room and you shine the torch. Where you're shining the torch is your conscious focus. Yeah. Everything else, let's say for now, is your unconscious, right? Just leave the subconscious out of it, right? Most people, right, they're not in control of their torchlight. The light is just flickering all over the place and they have no control. They're not directing through intention. So your conscious mind is flickering and unwavering all over. So the key to entrepreneurial stoicism is to choose where to shine that light. That means it's about choosing your focus, because if you choose your focus, yeah, what we think determines how we feel. Our feelings are actions, and our actions are outcome. If you choose your focus, that is one of the keys to manifestation. If you emotionalize that focus, those thoughts become magnetized. And that's when then we do the behavior, the law of attraction with the law of action manifests, it creates our physical form, right? So it's all about directing your conscious. How do we do that? First belief is actually a presupposition in NLP that you've got to understand, Aldwin, that nothing has any meaning. For example, murder is not bad. Now, when I say that, who agrees that murder is? I believe murder is bad. But in the scheme of the universe, murder is not bad. Right now, there's animals in the kingdom eating and killing and all this stuff. We perceive it to be bad because we have conscious awareness about our own, the fact that we're alive and we're going to die and we're a sentient being. Nothing has any meaning but the meaning you give it. All the things you believe are good and all the things you believe are bad are not good or bad, but believing them makes it so. Does that make sense? So the key is to understand that nothing has any meaning but the meaning you give it. Okay? You can choose those beliefs. Your meaning you give success. Imagine if you gave your definition and meaning of success such like an easy way to achieve, or so easy to achieve, and your definition of failure was so hard to achieve. Who would agree your likelihood of success will be much greater? Yes, yes. Does that make sense? You choose your beliefs. So you've got to understand that nothing has any meaning but the meaning you give it. Okay? Alfred Zakibsky, how do you say his name again? Kozibsky? Science and Sanity, 1933, great book. He's talked about this. Talked about that in The Map Is Not the Territory and a few other paradigms like that. Great book. Yeah. Nothing has any meaning but the meaning you've given, and you choose that meaning. So the key here to create entrepreneurial stoicism and to not emotionally react to people is to take the time. And again, we go back to Pavlovian conditioning here, is to recognize that when something happens in your external environment, if you don't choose to shine your torch, if you don't choose your focus, what's going to happen is the torch is going to flicker where it wants based on conditioning. And those conditionings fall into a couple of components. First of all, it could be a chemical conditioning. So maybe you're addicted to bad dopamine, and that's why you go shopping or gamble or watch that porn or scroll the newsfeed or whatever those things are that give you that dopamine hit. It could be a chemical reaction. It could be a neurological. It could be a trauma response. Now, unlike a lot of people that are trauma-informed, and I am trauma-informed, highly trauma-informed, believe that everything is a trauma response. So that's not true. It's not true at all. Not everything is a negative response or trauma. And trauma is important, by the way. Trauma is important. Pain is important. Suffering, all these things, all that stuff is important. Pleasure does not exist without pain. We've got to embrace. It's like shadow work. Who's heard of shadow work? Yeah, you've got to embrace the shadow. You've got to embrace the darkness. You've got to embrace those things. Otherwise, it's called spiritually bypassing. You got to recognize that pain is a good thing if you take the lesson, right? So it's important to remember that nothing has any meaning but the meaning you give it, and that we have also psychological reactions, right? So based on unconscious conditioning. So there's many things that are happening based on our past experiences through trauma, through chemical response, and also unconscious conditioning that's going on where you're reacting to something happening in your external environment. Does that make sense? So what you've got to take time to do is rather than react, you've got to take responsibility and take a moment to consciously choose your response. Break the cycle of the trauma response, the unconscious psychological conditioning, or the bad dopamine chemical response, which a lot of us do. Right? How do you do that? Is next time something happens in your business, take a moment before you think, before you speak, before you act, to choose the thoughts you want, to choose the words you want to speak, and to choose your actions before you do it, and break the cycle. And once you can keep doing this over and over and over, you will habituate it and you'll break from the cycle and you'll form new neural pathways and you'll recondition not only your body, your mind, your unconscious and your neurology, but also your life. Does it make sense? Now, the challenge is that you cannot not think. You're always thinking. So what are the chances of you consciously being aware of every thought all day, every day? That's not necessarily the case. This is why a lot of people adopt affirmations, because it's a great way to begin to condition your mind to gravitate towards the positive rather than the negative. Does that make sense? Yeah. So, so how do we choose to do that? So next time, let's use the context of business. And I think a lot of things revolve around what clients or prospects do, right? You know, for example, you know, when somebody comments on your post, all right, and it triggers you, take a moment when it triggers. By the way, it's okay to be triggered. You know, if I'm walking down the street, someone punches a girl in the face, that's going to trigger my value system. I'm going to step in, I'm going to do something about it. There's nothing wrong with triggers. There's this whole fallacy in the world right now that being triggered is bad and trauma is bad and pain is bad and all this stuff. No, it's all part of the process. The key to forging an iron mind is not to avoid stress, to not to avoid pressure, to not to avoid trauma, to not to avoid all these things. It's to embrace it, to become comfortable with the uncomfortable, to face our fears so that we have so much courage. There is nothing holding us back from fulfilling our destiny and achieving our full potential. Problem is, you're letting all this stuff hold you back because you base it on how people are going to perceive you. Does that make sense? So next time something happens in your business, you know, somebody cancels or doesn't show up, you know, let's use that. You know, next time somebody cancels last minute or a client quits, maybe you've got 3 clients right now, 1 client quits, you don't know how you're going to eat this week. Recognize that, okay, and go, well, I'm feeling X, I'm going to react accordingly, and I act like a wanker towards that prospect and lose a client, lose them forever. And choose your thoughts, choose your words, and choose your actions in a way that is focused on what you can control. Again, BEST, your behavior, emotions, your speech, and your thoughts. And remember that nothing has any meaning but the meaning you give it. Now, if you are getting frustrated, upset, or disappointed when people are canceling, not showing, quitting, saying no, all those things, that's a scarcity mindset. That's a scarcity mindset. That's what's triggering that reaction. Okay, take a moment to pause, ask yourself, what do I want to think? What do I want to feel? And what are the actions going to help solve this problem? And then begin to direct your thoughts, your feelings, and actions accordingly. Right? And it's going to take time because you need to recondition that triggered response. Right? I have a saying, if it doesn't trigger you, it doesn't change you. And it's going to take practice and it's going to take time. Yeah. So it really doesn't matter to me if Aldwin quits today, if Lisa quits today, Anastasia quits today, because we've got so many people to talk to, because we have an abundant mentality. If you had a pure, abundant mentality that there is enough to go around and there's so many people to speak to and there's so much money in the world, how can I get stressed or worried about $500 when our mission is to build a $100 million a year business? If you're getting worried and stressed about one client or one person or one bill or one thing here, you're not thinking large enough. You're coming from a place of scarcity. So you've got to recognize your scarcity frame. And remember, there's more than enough to go around. You know, somebody cancels when I was doing personal training, I booked 20 PT sessions in a row, and I relied on people not showing up just to freaking eat. I was like, yes, cancellation, I can eat, right? I can go do this thing. Because everything that's meant to happen happens the way. So, has there ever been a time, Aldwin, where something ultimately hasn't worked out for you? Everything always works out in the end. I can prove it. You're right here, right now, all of you. Yeah, and so this is going to take time. So the key to this is, next time you feel or recognize you have emotionally reacted rather than taking time to respond, and you feel a way you don't want to, you go, what are the thoughts I need to have? What feelings do I want to have? And what's the action that's going to solve this problem? I just lost a client. Okay, let's go book 3 more appointments. Let's pick up the phone. ask yourself, what can I do about it? It's about, and so it's the recognizing that beliefs are not facts. Nothing has any meaning but the meaning you give it. And that you have an opportunity to break the cycle of reaction and being triggered, take a moment to respond. So, and all you've got to do is pause. Just stop for a second. Just pause. Don't talk, don't speak, don't act. Someone says something that triggers you online, offline, face-to-face, just pause for a moment. Even if they look at you awkwardly like you're a freak. Come on, pause. Super intelligent people do this. You watch Elon Musk and super intelligent people in an interview, they'll pause after 30 seconds. It's almost awkward for the interviewer because they're taking the time to respond, to choose, to direct consciously that flashlight. Yeah. So we want to stop reacting and start responding. And so a big part of this is because it's another presupposition in NLP is that most people are, and some of this stuff, right? So it's going to take practice. Pause response, I think, will be good for you guys. The key to forging an iron mind is to put yourself in ridiculously hard situations as often as you can. Because if you want to get strong, that's what happens. You go to the gym, you lift weights, you break down you break down the muscle fibers, right? And they tear and they grow back thicker and stronger with the word happening again. You've got to do that mentally, psychologically, emotionally. You've got to do that spiritually. And if you're trying to avoid that pain, if you're trying to avoid that suffering, and try to avoid that stuff, that's just going to keep you more emotionally reacting rather than responding as well. Yeah, super uncomfortable. Yeah, flex that mind muscle. Yeah. So it's understanding that the reason why you're reacting to anyone or anything is because you are at effect rather than cause. Oh, why me? This is happening to me, or this person attacked me. You can say whatever you want to me, and I'll laugh at you. You've got to have thick rhino skin and stop giving a shit so much. It doesn't fucking matter. It really doesn't. T.R. Becker has a saying: you can be right or you can be rich. If you have the choice of being right or being rich, who would rather be rich? In all ways, not just financially. You can be right or you can be rich. I don't give a shit about being right. I don't care about being right. So whenever you're reacting and you're triggered by what somebody else does, says, whatever, you're focusing on what you cannot control and you cannot do anything about it, and you're at effect rather than cause. And this is a victim mentality. You're all playing the victim every day. Every one of you are playing the victim with a scarcity mentality, and you're at effect rather than cause. If I walk down the street and it starts pissing down with rain, why would I get upset? I can't control the rain, can I? But did I not choose to walk down the street? If I'm driving down the street and someone rear ends me, whose fault is it? Mine or the person behind me? It's the person behind me. Would you agree? But did I not choose to be in the car there and then? So I have a responsibility and I played a role in it. If I wasn't there, it wouldn't have happened. So I am the cause of it. That belief, if you instill that and truly believe that, will change your life. Yeah. So you've got to recognize when you're reacting or being triggered because you are at effect. This person did this to me. This person made me feel angry. No one can make you feel angry. You chose to react based on conditioning. Yeah. If you get angry, if I get angry at someone, that's not somebody else's fault. That's my projection. I projected that. I gave it that meaning. You've got to recognize the meaning you give things, right? So you've got to stop playing the victim. The key to forming emotional intelligence, which is the ultimate entrepreneurial stoicism, in increasing your IQ, your emotional IQ through entrepreneurial stoicism, is to stop the victim mentality. And some of you do it a lot. What is a victim mentality? It's anybody that spends more than 50% of their thoughts at effect rather than cause. What are some examples? We talk about these a lot. It's a big part of our coaching program. 1, excuses. 2 is blaming others. 3 is complaining. Now, I find that the biggest cause of a victim mentality is bitching and moaning and complaining. How many people do this? We had the coldest winter in 26 years in Gold Coast. People are like, oh, it's cold. We had a 27-degree day. Oh, it's hot. It's like, what? What are you complaining about? You just said it's cold now, it's hot. It's like, that people complain. Now, if you're thinking about something you don't want, that emits an energy signature and attracts more of what you don't want. It's the stuff that you already know. So I want you to use the pause response mechanism. My strategy for each of you is to practice the pause response. Whenever you're thinking and feeling and doing things in a way you don't want, or if somebody does something or says something that leads you or causes you to think and feel a certain way, pause for a moment, recognize that, choose your thoughts and feelings and your actions based on intent rather than reaction. This is huge. So you've got to reckon, and my challenge to each of you is, if I'm thinking about something I don't want, if I think about, it's one thing to be aware of something, it's nothing to focus on it. For example, pain. Pain is a given, suffering is a choice. Some of this stuff you're going to hear me talk about a lot because it's really important, guys. I want to drill this into your unconscious. I'll pass it over to you in a second. Pain leads to suffering when one of two things happen. Number one, I said this yesterday, I want to drill this into you. If you are suffering, it's because you are focusing on the pain or you are ignoring the pain. Now, you want to be aware of the pain, but then heed the lesson from it and focus on the solution. That's the difference between being positive. Being positive is ignoring the pain. Us men do it all the time. We give, oh, look at that scan. Oh, it's 3 months. I'll give it 6 months. Okay, 6 months, it's invested. I should probably go get a check now. Men are super guilty of this as well. Being positive is a way of ignoring the pain. And that's why positivity is such a superficial thing. Being an optimist, on the other hand, is choosing to believe that things are going to turn out well. As Tony Robbins says, see things for how they are, or see them better than they are, right? That's being an optimist. It's not being positive. So it's the same with negative thoughts. It's the same with complaining. It's the same with blaming. It's not your parents' fault. It's not the government's fault. It's not the economy. There is no price of living epidemic right now. You think I have a problem with paying for a living? No. If you believe there's a price of living epidemic right now, you are at effect, not at cause. You're choosing to play the victim and you have a scarcity mindset and you can't do shit about it. Right? Go make more money. Have an abundant mentality. There's more than enough to go around. There's trillions of dollars on this world. Right? There's enough people starving. Do you really need to starve? So you've got to become a conscious creator. You've got to take the time to recognize when you think and feel a way you don't want to, and you're reacting to someone else, to pause. Ask yourself, what am I thinking, feeling? What do I need to think and feel? And choose your thoughts, choose your feelings, and choose your actions. Two things to do that. One is the pause response mechanism, once you practice that. And the second thing is that who journals? What I would suggest all of you do that want to increase your emotional intelligence, I did this for years, I've stopped doing it, but when I really want to make drastic changes, radical changes to my mindset, I write everything down. Carry a journal with you and take notes. And at the end of the day, review your day and write down your thoughts and feelings and how you reacted, and then make a decision and write down how you're going to improve on that tomorrow. So you review at the end of today, you'll write it down. I had this, this client canceled. I was triggered this way. I said and did this. Oh, I want to improve that tomorrow. Tomorrow when it happens, I'm going to do this. And put it all on paper. Write down and keep a journal of the stuff that happens, review it, and then write down all the things you're going to do next time when it happens. This is a really powerful way to get out of your own head as well. Okay. So number one, when things happen in your business, take a moment to stop, pause, choose your response, which is your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. Number one. Number two, keep a journal. Keep your journal. When something happens, whip that journal out. It could be on your phone, but I think there's something about pen and paper, that really enhances this experience. Have a journal with you everywhere, and something happens, pull it out, write it down. This is what happens. This is what I want to do next time to improve on that. And at the end of the day, write down, your day and your thoughts, and then write down how you're going to improve on that next time. Because if you're all going through perpetual cycles and you've got the same triggers that are happening in reactions over and over. Yeah. Number one, the stop pause mechanism. Number two, the journal. And don't take things too seriously. You're all going to die. None of us are getting out of this thing called life alive. We might as well have fun along the way and not take shit too serious. You're taking shit too serious. Les Brown says, don't sweat the small stuff and all small stuff. On the weekend, I had my Google hacked. 1,100 videos gone. 37 portals, no videos in them anymore. All my free content, half of my lead captures, gone. 12 years of emails, gone. 12 years of calendars, gone. I had to call an emergency meeting. Did I get stressed? Did I get worried? I had a moment. I was a bit overwhelmed. I was going, shit, I got 72 videos to do in 2 weeks. All right, add that to the list. Let's go, baby. So you can't take shit too seriously, because whatever is going on, you got to ask yourself, is this going to matter in a year from now? Is it going to matter in 5 years from now? If it's yes, then you need to deal with it pretty urgent. Most of the time, it's not. It's not a big deal. If you're getting straight, like if you've got a handful of clients and you're sitting there going, man, I need to get clients so I can pay the bills. That's a scarcity mindset. You're going to repel and push everything away. Okay, you got to focus on what you do have and what you can give. One last message is one of my messages that I leave everybody with. If you ever feel a way you do not want to, it's because you're focusing on what you don't have and what you can get, rather than what you do have and what you can give. You cannot feel grateful and fearful at the same time. You cannot have a scarcity mentality and an abundant mentality simultaneously. It's not possible. You know, if you're focusing on getting a client, getting a yes, getting an appointment, yeah, and you're focusing on the clients you don't have and the money you don't have, you can't control it. And that's going to create more stress and pressure, and you're going to push it away, and you're going to attract more of it, right? You got to focus on what you do have. I've got 3 clients. I've got Facebook, I've got Resourceful, I've got Jason, I've got Julie, I've got Lisa, I've got this community. And what I can give my time and my energy. I got 168 hours in a week. I've got 80 hours of my time to do this. Stop focusing on what you don't have and what you can get. Focus on what you do have and what you can give. Rest, do the stop pause mechanism, start journaling, and watch what begins to happen. Become a conscious creator and direct and choose your thoughts. Stop reacting. Don't be a little bitch. Don't play the victim. Take control of your own destiny. You're powerful beyond measure. As you'll hear me say this a lot, you have an unlimited, infinite reservoir of pure potential. Most of you are just acting like scared little kids, holding yourself back because you're worried about being rejected or how other people are going to judge you or being seen. Most of you are hiding and playing small because you are scared of the power that you have. What if I become successful? What if people start to judge me? What if I change? You're going to change. People say to me, Jason, you've changed. I'm like, I fucking hope so. Who wants to be the same in a year from now? Nobody. You're powerful beyond measure. Say it after me. I am powerful beyond measure. I am powerful beyond measure. So recognize that. And that's how you form an iron mind. All right. Well, that was pretty intense, wasn't it? All righty. So I'm going to pass it over to Julie now. For those that don't know Julie and I have been good friends for about 8 years. I also business coached, helped her build a 6-figure fitness business, pivoted online, built a 6-figure online fitness business, went through all of her trainings, is an international trainer of neurolinguistic programming, certifying people in timeline therapy and neurolinguistic programming, is a certified life coach, is also an international quantum business coach with us, coaching online coaches, consultants, agency owners all across the globe to build to 20,000 plus months. Is a beautiful soul, very good at what she does. She's like a sister to me. We've jumped out of a plane together. We've had a lot of fun together. We're in a limo last weekend sipping champagne together. I'm going to pass it over to Julie. And trust me when I say, listen closely to what she has to say. She's not only a beautiful soul and cares about you guys, but she's very bloody good at what she does. So I'm going to pass it over to Julie and leave you in her capable hands. Hey, Julie, how you going? Julie Thompson in the house.
Hello, amazing souls. How are we all? I might just get, yes, thank you. I can see all of your beautiful faces. I want to just say thank you very much for each and every single one of you to commit, to show up, to be here. I know for some of you, it's like way late in the middle of the night on the other side of the globe. And I just want to share some of the stuff that Jason says. You've probably heard it so many times, which is a beautiful thing, because repetition is what really infiltrates your unconscious mind. So I am going to share with you some NLP insights. So for those of you who have learned NLP, this will be a cool revision for you, and also probably act as a reminder of the tools that are already in your kit that you're probably not using every single day. For those of you who have no idea what NLP is, you guys are going to get a lot out of this. So just please allow me to share my screen. And I just want to double check. Can you guys see my screen here? Yep, beautiful. Thank you very much. Okay, very cool. All right, so NLP basically is the language of the mind. You've probably heard Jason mention a couple of times about we are literally processing so much information, but it's the language of the mind that is actually operating our conscious thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. So in NLP, we help you unpack what is actually going on in your unconscious mind. So I want to share with you the importance of actually understanding your mind because you need to first understand how your unconscious mind works, how it's creating the programs that are generating the thoughts and the feelings and the behaviors and the actions that you are doing and thinking and feeling every single day. And so you can then learn how to navigate and take charge of that operating system. I'm also going to teach you some effective communication skills so you can build a stronger internal dialogue, because chances are you're probably telling yourself multiple times a day, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I can't do this. Who here has negative dialogue that infiltrates them every single day, right? So it's about building stronger beliefs. And I want to share with you, your internal dialogue is literally on autopilot, and it's a program that's running in the background. So you want to be able to build stronger rapport. You want to understand your unconscious mind. You want to actually infiltrate that communication system and reprogram the dialogue. So I'm going to teach you also how to enhance your mental resilience, unlock your peak performance, optimize your decision-making strategies, and how to achieve long-term sustainable success. Who here is in business who's hit burnout before? Right? And yep, I think we've all been on that journey before. So the reason why we hit burnout is because we are just not operating in alignment with our highest self. And we're not operating in our genius zone often enough, because when we operate from our genius zone, we actually are able to achieve so much more with a lot less energy. So it's about understanding that for yourselves. So I am going to share some screens. No stranger to burnout. Yeah, tell me about it, right? I've hit burnout 4 times in business. This is my 10th business model. I've been in business for 20 years. I've ran multiple businesses simultaneously. Currently, I'm running 3 different businesses, but I'm doing it without burnout this time. So I'm doing it with a lot more energy this time. So this is fantastic stuff. So this is a quick screen share I want to share with you, because you've probably heard Jason talk about this before. So in actual reality, there's anywhere up to 30 million bits of information per second happening in the real world around us. However, we've got these filters that operate inside our mind that we're completely unaware of, most of us, that delete and distort and generalize that information, because our unconscious mind is not capable of taking in all that information. It's way too much information. So what happens is our filters actually delete, distort, generalize most of the information, and we only absorb about 128 bits of information per second at the unconscious level. However, we are only aware of about 5 to 7 chunks of information per second. Right? Now, the interesting and fascinating part here is what is being deleted and distorted and generalized is based on those filters. And each and every single one of us has completely different filters, right? They're based on your past, your experiences, your memories, your upbringings. We are born without filters. That's why who here has heard children come out with the most funniest things? They have no filter, right? And so when we are young children, we have no filter, but our filters are created in, you've probably heard Jason mention before, the critical period or the imprint period. So between the ages of 0 to 7, the environment that you grew up in is what helps to create those filters. So it's your families, your experiences, your religions, your culture, all of those things. And then we establish a set of filters that then delete, distort, generalize the information that we take in. So our beliefs are literally just a program. They're not even our beliefs. They're just the beliefs that we were instilled upon us from the external world. And so what happens, all of these filters are happening at the unconscious level, and then at the conscious level, that's what creates our internal representation, which creates our state, which is our physiology, which outputs our behavior. And this is why you are either reactive or responsive in a particular situation. This is why you might feel anger or sadness or hurt, or you might take something personally. So it's whatever's happening in the background here, that is what's controlling what happens in the front end. Who would love to be able to just take control, understand those filters and how they're operating, and actually be able to reprogram that? So imagine when you take your car to go and get a regular service, they take the filters out, they give you brand new filters, and then your car starts operating at a much better capacity, right? It starts using less fuel, less oil. It stops overheating because you've taken it for a regular service. Now, as humans, we're not doing that, right? So who here feels like they're operating tired, fatigued, run down, worn out, all these negative programs that are running? All right, so I've got some information for you guys. 80% of the thoughts you have are negative, and 80% of the thoughts are So this is all happening at the unconscious level. So it's important that you understand how your operating system works so you can reprogram it, take it in for a service, change those filters, and then that way that's going to change your state and change your physiology and your behavior. Yeah, 100%, Jules. People with fibromyalgia, we can change with a belief shift. So we talk about neuroplasticity, right? And you've heard Jason mention this a few times. So we get to create new programs, and we are literally able to program the energy signature that is bathing every single cell in our body. So your beliefs are merely just a program that's running on autopilot, and you get to change those beliefs anytime you want. So it's something that I wanted to share with you, and this is really important for you guys. And this is, how do you create mental resilience? First and foremost is you have to do the work to remove any limiting beliefs. All right. So your belief system is just a program. All right. They're not your beliefs. They're the beliefs that you were taught and that you accepted in your highly moral being. So it's about identifying. And this is why journaling is so important, because if you recognize limiting beliefs coming up for you throughout the day, it's important that you identify them, because without removing them, they are there and they are highly embedded in your nervous system and your neurology. The brain has been creating that neural pathway probably since you were 5, 6, 7 years old. And it is so highly embedded and ingrained in your neurology that until you're able to find the root cause of that limiting belief and remove it, that's when you can get rid of it and start creating a new program. So we use in NLP, we use timeline techniques. And I saw that one of you who here is a timeline therapist. For those of you who are, yes, Lisa, congratulations. So we can use techniques such as timeline therapy to remove them from their root cause. Once you remove them, then you get to create the new pathway, right? So it's important for you guys, if you are running any limiting beliefs, I highly recommend you invest in yourself, you do the work and you get rid of them, because they are going to impact your ability to achieve your success. If you have a slight doubt or a limitation in your unconscious mind, that is going to be creating your behaviors, your actions, and your results. Another thing you can use is a pattern interrupt. So interrupting the program. So this is a key takeaway for you guys, and you can do this, you can start doing it right now, is 80% of the thoughts you have are negative and they're also repetitive. So it's important that you pattern interrupt it as often as possible. Now, one thing that we also learn in neuro-linguistic programming, because we are working with neuroplasticity, if you interrupt that pattern every single time you have a negative thought and then you use a positive thought to the contrary, you use the pattern interrupt enough times, what happens is the interrupt becomes part of the new pattern. But you have to be committed to consistently doing the pattern interrupt. Who thinks that's a really helpful tool? Right? 100%. So it's about also creating the right environment. So for you, it's if we are highly adaptable beings, right? We're very survival beings. So if you put yourself into an environment that does not support your growth and your success, if you're surrounded by people who are telling you that you can't do something, or what are you thinking, or what makes you think that you can do that, or if you're listening to the negativity in your environment, you are going to adapt and absorb that information. So it is important that you recognize, does the people in your environment support or sabotage your success? And this is why I'm so proud of each and every single one of you for showing up to these free events that we do all the time, because this is the environment that you need to be nurturing yourself with. All of the coaches, all of the team, all of the positivity, all of the belief. We believe in you probably more than you believe in yourself, right? And so it's surrounding yourself with the people that already believe in you, because when you doubt yourself, if other people in your environment doubt you, then that's not a conducive environment that's going to support your success journey. So it's really important that you are very mindful of the environment that you're in. And you've probably heard the saying before that we become like the 5 people that we spend most of our time with. So I highly recommend for you to do some reflection, ask yourself the question, who are the 5 people that you spend most of your time with? And are they supporting or sabotaging your desired success? Proximity is power, 100%, Lisa. Yeah, for sure. And we talk about, I talk about conscious, consistent commitment. So in Jason's previous slide, he said conscious creator. We have to be conscious all the time. So for me, doing pattern interrupts, it's like I'm recognizing and listening to the internal dialogue all the time consistently. And so I'm using my pattern interrupts every single time. I'm reprogramming my neurology every single minute of every single day. And so you are in charge of your mind, believe it or not. We think that we're at the mercy of our mind. And most of us, when we are unconscious, that is the case. We are at the mercy of our mind, but we are in charge of our mind and therefore our results. So we use things like priming and affirmations. Jason spoke about affirmations earlier. And so priming ourselves, who here's heard of Tony Robbins' priming activities? So every morning, Tony Robbins does a priming exercise. He spends hours every single day priming his mind, priming his neurology, priming his energy to create what he wants. And I want to talk about why priming is so important, because when you wake up in the morning, your brain goes from the dream state to the waking state. And the first thing it does is it goes looking for its identity. And so who here wakes up in the morning and the first dialogue, internal dialogue that comes through is like, oh, I'm tired. I didn't have a good sleep last night, right? So your unconscious mind will then go looking for confirmation of that. So it will recognize that you feel tired, your arms are sore, your legs are sore, your neck's a bit sore, you didn't sleep so well. So I have a 3-second rule where I hijack the communication instantly first thing in the morning. And I tell myself I'm awake, I'm alive, and I'm energized. And I say it over and over again until I believe it, and I'm creating the energy signature behind them. So it's really important that you are conscious and consistent, and you're committed to creating the energy signature that's going on for you. So we talk about the inner dialogue, and this is so important for you guys. So it's about learning how to master your inner communication. This is your internal dialogue, and your internal dialogue is your words, it's your thoughts, it's your beliefs. So who here has heard the statement, I am? So I am is our identity, right? And so whatever you say after that is that's what the energy signature of those words are going to bathe every single cell of your body. So if you say, I am tired, then that is the signature that you're sending to the rest of your cells in your body. You're constantly bathing every single cell of your body at any given time. Yes, Deonche, I am limitless. I love it. So your words are your weapons. So you need to be priming yourself. And so for those of you who are in the business coaching program, we've come up with 5 powerful affirmations, and you guys should be using them every single day. And you should be saying it with absolute volition in what you're saying. You need to have the belief behind those words. And so you also need to be mastering your communication. Is what are you focusing on? Jason spoke about the spotlight before. So your focus is going to expand. So I went to a business meeting this week, and I had a meeting with a very high profile person who I'm looking to do an affiliate collaboration with, who's connected with 3 global leaders who I want to do work with. As I'm walking into the meeting, my shoe broke. And in that moment, I felt this thought popping like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? And then I could have focused on the fact that my shoe broke and I'm going to look like a fool being in this meeting, and who do I think I am being there? But instead, I focused on what I had to offer. So I walked into the meeting barefoot. I sat in the entire meeting barefoot, and I just focused heavily on what I could offer, you know, what I had to offer and why I deserved to be in that meeting. So it's like my focus changed. I could have focused on the fact that I'm sitting in a meeting barefoot, not looking professional, or I could have focused on what I had to give. Thanks, Lisa. So your focus is either positive or it's negative. If you know this, that it's negative, interrupt the pattern immediately. Focus on what you can do rather than what you can't do. Focus on focus on your solutions rather than your problems. And another thing to really help you understand your inner dialogue is notice your awareness, right? This is something that we teach in NLP. Is there's so much that's outside of your awareness, by the way. So what do you see and what are you not seeing? What do you hear and what are you not hearing? And what do you feel and what are you not feeling? And then what do you think and what do you understand, or what don't you understand? And this is really important and crucial for you guys to become more aware of this, because we are operating in our conscious mind most of the time. So our conscious and unconscious, we've got all of these thoughts, 128 bits of information per second. We are just not consciously aware of them. So it's important that you lean into your deeper awareness and ask yourself the question, What are you seeing? What are you hearing? What are you feeling? And what are you thinking? And you need to really take ownership of that focus. You need to take ownership of what it is that you're seeing or not seeing so you can expand your mind, right? Cool. So I want to share, when we talk about visual, auditory, kinesthetic, olfactory, gustatory, here's an interesting concept for you guys. And Jason said this before, none of us are thinking big enough, right? And I want to share on this. And this is something that I learned as an entrepreneur and as a leader and as a teacher, is I'm such a highly visual person, right? That's like 43% of the other people in the world. But what that meant is I couldn't see why somebody was doing what they were doing. Right? I couldn't understand it because my AD, I wasn't aware of my AD, which is the information, the facts, the data, the figures, right? So people were sharing their experiences with me, but I couldn't see it because for somebody who's highly visual, as you're speaking to me, I'm trying to paint the picture in my mind. If I can't see it, then I couldn't understand it. But what happens is I became aware of, what am I not hearing? What am I not feeling? And what am I not understanding? And so this is where you get to expand on your awareness. This is where you fully get to expand, because each and every single one of you is probably more highly visual or more highly auditory. And so it's important for you to recognize, what is it that you are not feeling or not seeing or not understanding? Does that make sense? Yeah, very cool. So also in NLP, we talk about how do we activate our peak performance, right? And this is really important for each and every single one of you. So we have these things called meta programs. They're one of the filters that operate in the background. Now, they are like mental shortcuts, right? And so our meta programs shed light on things like our decision-making styles, our motivational tendencies, our perceptions of information, and how we individually evaluate ourselves and others. There are towards and away from motivation. They're whether we're introverted, extroverted. And so when you can fully understand your own unique meta programs, we've got more than 50 meta programs that we each run, and we're so individually unique. But the more you understand them, the more you actually gain insight into them, the more you get to operate from your genius zone, but the more you also get to identify the areas that are in the darkness, the areas that you have not yet being able to lean into in your unconscious mind. So for you to explore those meta programs, that helps you tap into your genius zone, helps you tap into your peak performance, helps you unlock stuff that's within you that you just aren't even aware of yet. Does that make sense? Yeah, cool. So when you operate from your genius zone, and I want to share this with you guys, because who here does some activities and you feel like you could do it with your eyes closed? It's easy, it's effortless, you're kind of half good at it, and it feels effortless to do. Right? Who here has experienced when you just feel like you're going against the grain? You're not good at it. It's painful. You want to bash your head up against the wall, right? And this is because it's possibly related to your particular personality style and your particular unique meta programs. And so when you know your genius zone, when you know your strengths, the more time you spend doing that stuff, you achieve so much more with so much less energy. Right? And you also get to recognize, and this is important for each of you who are building team and hiring VAs, it's important for you to recognize what's your genius zone and what's not your genius zone, so you can then appoint your VAs to work in your non-genius areas, right? And this is a valuable lesson that I learned for myself in business, is I spent 4 years not doing my tech stuff, and therefore I was losing clients. I was falling out the ends of the funnels everywhere because I was not technically minded. It done my head in. I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't know how to do it. And I kept saying to myself, every time I came up with a tech issue, I can't do it. I can't. I don't know how. That was the internal dialogue. So what happens is that's the program that I run. As soon as I say I can't, I generate that belief system. So my unconscious mind goes, okay, well, we can't. End of story. Right? Rather than saying, that's not my genius zone, but let me find somebody whose it is. Right? And so that's when I then become empowered to operate more in my genius zone and achieve so much more with less energy. And then I know who I need on my team. I want to talk about the importance of ecology, right? If you guys want to reach peak performance and if you want to reach true success, ecology is important. So ecology is when you're operating from a place of win-win. It's a win for you, it's a win for your clients, and it's a win for the greater good. So anyone who is trying to just get the quick win, or, you know, selling something to somebody, whether they need it or not, but the universe picks up that energy. Okay, so the more you operate from a place of ecology and serve from your heart, the more the universe is going to match that energy for you. And let's talk about your confidence for a minute. So Jason shared on this, practice facing your fears. And Craig, if you're on this call listening, congratulations for going out and getting yourself acquainted with a snake this week, overcoming his fears of snakes. And Lisa, I know that she also went and joined Toastmasters to overcome her fear of public speaking, right? So in psychology, we talk about exposure therapy. So if you guys want to build your confidence, it's so important that you face your fears as often as possible, flex that muscle, strengthen your ability to be flexible and to grow, because the more you do it, the more your unconscious mind will basically become limitless. It will become fearless, and it will just go, what's next? What else have you got? You will just build on that confidence and that limitless more than you know. So guys, it's really important for you to tap into all of these things. You know, face your fears. If there's something that you are fearful of and you're worried about what's going to happen, like, fears are not real, right? Fears, it's a future event appearing real, right? It's the story that you're telling yourself, or that your unconscious mind is telling yourself. And as soon as you realize that, hey, it's not really a fear, you're going to be so much better off. All right. Sustainable success. Let's talk about this. So aligning your mindset. So daily rituals and practices. Guys, if you are not doing daily rituals, so for me, I program my neurology every single morning. As soon as I get out of bed, it's the first thing I do, right? Because I can either wake up and feel tired, or I can wake up and feel empowered, right? So it's important that you practice that. Do the work. If you have barriers, guys, invest your time, your energy, your money to work through them as often as possible. I had an amazing experience 7 years ago, and I went and I had a breakthrough as a client. I got rid of all my limitations, my fears, my doubts, my negative emotions, my limiting beliefs. And I can tell you what, it was a game changer. It changed my relationship, my finances, my business, everything, right? So it's important that you do the work. Notice the barriers that are coming up for you and invest in yourself. Because I can tell you one thing now, and Jason says this as well, if nothing changes, nothing changes, right? So wherever you are right now in your life, with the results that you got in your relationships, in your business, in your finances, if there are limiting beliefs that are holding you back and you don't deal with them, you're going to be exactly in the same spot in 5 years from now. And I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. Right? So whatever you feel is holding you back, I want you guys to recognize it, and I want you to commit to yourself to break through it. Who here is deciding to commit to themselves? Who here is done with being average? Who's over not having enough? Right? Who's sick and tired of being broke? Who's sick and tired of feeling tired? Right? So it's time, guys. It's literally, the time is now. You know, if you don't change now, you're going to be left behind, you know, and that's the sad truth of it, is you have to find out what it is that's holding you back and commit to making it work. All right. Aligning your values. So your top values, guys, whether it's your family, your finances, your business, your people, your relationships, whatever is your top values, reverse engineer from there, right? Make your highest values the reason why you must do the work. Does that make sense? And operate from a place of ecology. And now I talk about aligning your inner circle and your strategy. This is where you guys are in the right place at the right time right now. Find your tribe, get a coach, work with a coach who knows the way, surround yourself in the right environment. You guys are all here for the right reason, right? We are all here because we are going on this journey together. So surrounding yourself with the people, and it's about deciding and committing. And the commitment is every single day. It's every thought, it's every minute, it's every single day, because you are literally bathing every single cell in your body in every single moment. And Dr. Bruce Lipton talks about this, where he talks about like the neuroplasticity. We are literally bathing every cell in our body. We are literally creating energy. And I can tell you this now, if you've got a low vibrational frequency, like a negative thought or feeling or belief that's running through your body, that's literally bathing every single cell of your body right now. So that is what's created in your nervous system. So you are creating your reality right now. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I want you guys to, I want everybody, just for a moment, I want you to tell yourself that I am unstoppable. I just want everybody to say those words to yourselves right now. I want you to say, I am unstoppable. I can see some of you aren't even saying it, right? So let's go again. I want everybody to commit to saying this, all right? I want you to say right now, I am unstoppable. Yes, Lisa's owning it. She's owning it. She's owning it. Good. All right. Now, I'm just going to stop sharing for a second because I want to see how committed you guys really are. Let me just stop sharing my screen. All right. I want everybody to stand up. Stand up, get out of your chairs. I don't care if it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I want every single person to stand up, right? I want you to feel the energy. All right. Now I want you to say to yourself on the count of 3, I am unstoppable. Good. Good. I got you, Ray. So now what I want you to do is I want you to understand the energy vibration that comes, right? When you said that, I want you to ask yourself, and be honest with yourself for just one moment, did you actually believe that? Did you actually believe it when you said it? Because this is the energy frequency that you are bathing every single cell of your body with. So remember the internal dialogue? If you don't believe it, your unconscious mind is sending that signal to your body. So we're going to try this again, right? We're going to try it again. I want everybody to stand up. And this time when you say it, I want you to mean it. And I want you to feel it like you actually believe it. And I want you to apply a physical anchor. So when you say it, I want you to apply a fist bump in the air. And I want you to shout it from the rooftop. I want you to feel it in every single cell of your body. All right. So everybody's standing up. On the count of 3, in 3, 2, 1, I am unstoppable. Right? Good. Yes, good, Anastasia. Good, Lisa. Good, good, good. Good, Aldwin. Nice, right? So guys, your unconscious mind is always listening. So I want you to practice this every single day. I want you to pick your 5 powerful affirmations and I want you to say them over and over and over again until you believe it. Right? If you are saying it and the energy signature is not resonating through every cell of your body, you will feel it. All right. So when you don't feel it, I want you to turn the intensity up. I want you, when you say it, to actually believe it. Yes, Lisa's charged. She is definitely feeling it. I love it. Good stuff. All right, guys, this is how you prime your mind. This is how you program your neurology, right? You do this every single day, as many times as you want. And that's the energy vibration that you're going to send through your body, right? Guys, this is literally just the beginning, by the way. Okay, so you need to commit every single minute of every single day. You need to program your nervous system, program your neurology, say it like you mean it, actually believe it, right? And if you want to learn more about this stuff, I just want to go back to here for a moment. So all of your filters, guys, your identity and your belief system is just a program. That's all it is. It's simply just a program that's not even yours. Okay, it was imprinted upon you and you get to create. Lisa, I love it. She's just like, oh, she's feeling the vibrations, the energy. I love it. So guys, you get to create these filters. You get to understand the language of the mind. You get to create and change the meaning on your memories. You get to make new decisions, create new beliefs. You get to dissect your meta programs. You get to change your values, your beliefs, your attitudes. Guys, this is what we teach in NLP, right? I'm here with you for 20 minutes. And what I teach you in our NLP training is like, we spend 6 full days together. I help you unpack this entire thing so you understand it at the unconscious level so you can reprogram it. So just a quick one, guys, our next NLP practitioner training is happening next week. We literally kick off on Monday. I know that there's a few of you that will be joining us, so I can't wait to serve you guys. 6 full days, fully live, interactive. Basically, it's a triple certification program. So we give you certifications in neuro-linguistic programming, timeline therapy. So when you come, a side effect of coming to the training is you actually get the tools and techniques in timeline therapy so you can remove all of your negative emotions and limiting beliefs. So you will have a breakthrough in the training. It's real-time coaching practice. You get to practice as a coach, as a client. You also get a coach's certification as well. There's additional study materials. You get access to all the manuals. You get access to live recordings. You get lifetime access to our coaching community. There's a few bonuses we throw in. So you get additional one-on-one coaching with myself for a month afterwards, which is phenomenal. We'll also give you a free NLP book and 6 months access to our inner circle. So we do weekly meetings in our inner circle with access to all the other coaches. So you get to come and brush up and practice every single day your NLP tools and techniques. It's valued at over $8,000. We offer a beautiful price of just like literally less than half that, so for $4,000. But for you guys, for our QBC community, we are literally dropping $1,000 off that price. So our price is literally $2,995. There's options to pay it either upfront or weekly options. You can do it on payment plans. So guys, if you want to understand NLP, if you really want to actually change your mind and change the programs that are operating on autopilot, I highly recommend it. For me personally, it was life-changing. It was a thing that changed my life forever. And if you, as Jason usually does, I'm going to give you guys a super special offer. So for the first 2 people to message me privately in my, just send me a direct message on Facebook. The first 2 people, I'm going to do something super special, drop an extra $1,000 off the price. So instead of $3,000, you guys will get it for $2,000. I see Lisa shaking her head. You probably paid $5,000 for your certification. I paid $5,000 for my prac. I paid $7,000 for my master prac. I paid, nearly $30,000 for my my trainer's training. Guys, this is like a steal. But if you are honestly dedicated to changing your mind, changing your life, changing your results, and you're ready to commit to the new, then please just send me a message. I'm going to stop sharing. Guys, everything you need is basically available for you guys. We give you access to everything that you need. You're fully supported well and truly after the training. So if you are somebody who knows that you are at a point that needs changing and you want to change and you want from here moving forward to be different, remember, if nothing changes, then send me a message and we'll get you set up. All right, guys, I hope there was value in today's message for you. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for being part of the community. Remember, on Saturday, this coming Saturday, we are doing a 3-hour free workshop for sales and closing masterclass. So make sure you guys are on that as well. And if you've got any questions, just reach out to us. Have an amazing day, guys, and we'll speak to you soon.